Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Since being defeated in the battle against Naruto and Sasuke, Momoshiki has been hiding deep inside Boruto's body, waiting for the right moment to completely take over his vessel. Up until now, although he has been able to interfere with Boruto's consciousness and even help him in certain situations, Momoshiki has not had the chance to fully control Boruto the way Ashiki once did with Jigen. However, as Boruto becomes increasingly desperate, unable to save his friends, and his spirit wavers more than ever before, could this be the moment that Momoshiki has long been waiting for? To explore this issue, today let's join E.G. Tuna in diving into the theory. Momoshiki awakens, Boruto's true enemy. As one of the few children chosen by the gods, Boruto carries both the power and the curse of the Otsutsuki clan. Because he cannot fully control the karma mark, he naturally becomes a potential threat, as Momoshiki could take over his body at any time. This butcher of a being has never hidden his ambition to claim Boruto's body. What's terrifying is that he doesn't rush to force Boruto into submission. Instead, he patiently waits for the moment when Boruto is at his weakest. When his will falters, when his determination is no longer strong enough to resist. And that moment may be fast approaching, as Boruto falls into despair, unable to protect his comrades, burdened by failure after failure, and with a future growing increasingly uncertain. In fact, the very fact that Boruto continues to fight up until now is the clearest evidence of his unwavering will and indomitable spirit. He's endured irreplaceable losses, been rejected by his own village, branded a criminal wanted across the world, and had his honor mercilessly dragged through the mud, and yet, he has never once allowed himself to collapse. These events may shake him, but they have never broken his resolve. Even when former comrades turned their backs on him, Boruto stood strong, enduring everything so that he could keep moving forward, never once hesitating or losing his way. We must acknowledge one thing. A great ninja is not defined solely by physical strength, power, or even ninjutsu, but by unwavering spirit, and the ability to stay focused on their goal, even when all hope seems lost. This has been proven time and again, through Naruto, Sasuke, and even further back, by the legendary figures like Madara and Hashirama. Naruto once fell into despair when faced with great loss, when he witnessed his mentor Jiraiya's death and when he was tormented by loneliness. But thanks to his unyielding will, he overcame everything and emerged even stronger. However, for Boruto, the story is far more complicated. He isn't just fighting enemies on the outside, he's also battling an internal war with himself, constantly resisting the soul of Momoshiki that's lying in wait, ready to take control. Especially now, in the current situation, Boruto is witnessing his comrades getting hurt, powerless to save them despite giving it his all. This creates a crack in what once seemed to be his unshakable resolve. Unlike Naruto, who once had the Nine Tails power to back him in moments of danger, Boruto isn't so fortunate. On the contrary, the power he possesses is the very thing that could destroy him at any moment. All it would take is a brief lapse of control, and Momoshiki would seize the opportunity to break free. What happens after that would be nothing short of catastrophic. Another factor that makes this even more dangerous is how Momoshiki manipulates Boruto's mind. Unlike other enemies, Momoshiki doesn't simply use brute force. Instead, he plants seeds of doubt and fear about the future. He's repeatedly reminded Boruto of the dark possibilities ahead, of how powerless he truly is in the face of fate. And the frightening part? Momoshiki's words aren't always lies. Many of them have turned out to be true, which only makes Boruto waver even more, gradually believing what Momoshiki tells him. The more anxious and fearful Boruto becomes, the more he feels powerless to change his destiny. Let's not forget, although Boruto has become stronger, he still hasn't fully mastered the limitless power within the karma mark. He lacks the experience necessary to stand against a formidable spirit like Momoshiki. Looking back, even the greatest ninjas were once ruined by negative thoughts. Obito, a ninja boy with immense potential, was manipulated by Madara in a moment of weakness after witnessing Rin's death. Nagato, who once held noble ideals, was eventually corrupted as well. After enduring one tragedy after another, if even the greatest ninjas of the past could be manipulated, then there's no guarantee that Boruto won't make the same mistake. Keep in mind, the stronger the will, the more devastating it is when that will is broken. So what would happen if Momoshiki were to fully take over Boruto's body? First and foremost, the world would face an entirely new Otsutsuki, not only possessing Momoshiki's power but also Boruto's full arsenal of knowledge and jutsu. In fact, Momoshiki might even be able to wield Boruto's techniques more effectively than Boruto himself. This means that if Boruto were to lose control, he would become a weapon of mass destruction under Momoshiki's command, one that no one could stop. A Boruto under Momoshiki's control would no longer be the Boruto we know. He would become an entirely different being, powerful, cold, and ruthless, just like a true Otsutsuki. This wouldn't just be a disaster for Konoha, but a dire threat to the entire ninja world. But is there any way for Boruto to resist Momoshiki? One possibility is for him to find a way to seal Momoshiki or to break free from his influence through some mysterious method. Boruto should learn to harness only a portion of the Otsutsuki power, rather than the full extent of the karma mark. That way, he could better adapt and maintain control over this new state. Boruto must face his fear instead of constantly running from it. Unfortunately, as of now, there's no clear indication that any of these theories are possible. Another option is for Boruto to train his mind, strengthen his resolve, and refuse to be swayed by Momoshiki's psychological manipulations. This might be the only path that will prevent Boruto from falling into the same tragic fate as those who came before him. Overall, the moment Momoshiki has been waiting for might be drawing near. Boruto is under immense pressure, where even the smallest mistake could cause him to lose himself forever. If he can't find a way to maintain his spirit and gain full control over his power, we may soon witness Boruto being taken over by Momoshiki, becoming the greatest threat the ninja world has ever faced. While Momoshiki is a danger that comes from within, Jura is a threat from the outside, one that endangers not just Boruto, but everyone around him. Although much about Jura remains a mystery, in just a few appearances, he has already proven to be one of Boruto's most terrifying enemies. What's most alarming about Jura is his overwhelming strength. In 2 encounters with Boruto, Jura easily neutralized him, raising an important question: if Boruto can't defeat Jura with his current abilities, what must he do to overcome him? Another factor that makes Jura dangerous is that, unlike Momoshiki, he is unrestricted. Momoshiki, while powerful, is still bound to Boruto's body, and if Boruto is careful, he might regain control. Jura, on the other hand, can act freely, without any limitations, and can strike at any moment. This makes him an immediate threat, one Boruto must respond to now. Jura is also frightening because he's not just strong, he's a brilliant strategist. Every time he appears, he acts with calculated precision, never impulsive, always finding ways to dominate his opponent efficiently. When comparing Momoshiki and Jura, it's clear that each threatens Boruto in a different way. Momoshiki is dangerous because he lives inside Boruto, able to take control and manipulate his mind at any time. Jura is an external threat, powerful and dominant in battle, capable of defeating Boruto outright if he's not strong enough. In the short term, Jura seems more dangerous, as he's a real and present enemy. Boruto can't ignore or run from him, he has to fight or be defeated. Meanwhile, Momoshiki is a long-term threat. He may not attack immediately, but he's always lurking, waiting for the right moment. However, from a broader perspective, Momoshiki is the more significant threat. While Jura is strong, he's just a single entity. If Boruto defeats him, the danger ends. But Momoshiki is part of Boruto, a force that can't be eliminated through normal means. Boruto can kill Jura, but he can't destroy Momoshiki without harming himself. That makes Momoshiki a curse Boruto must find a way to overcome, or else become a true Otsutsuki himself. That concludes our power comparison between Momoshiki and Jura. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support Ego Tuna and Baba Tuna. See you in the next video.